Limited use of mechanization is the root cause of low yield and high cost of production in the agricultural sector in Africa. So, if you're investing in agriculture in Africa like myself, I will recommend purchasing small farming equipment to be able to improve productivity and increase your profit margins. So, a little background as to why I decided to purchase our farm equipment from China. When I was disappointed by the local hatcheries, either because they would take our money and not supply us, or they would take our money and supply us bad day old chicks, I decided to set up my own hatchery at the farm. We shop around from resellers, from local resellers that actually purchase in China and sell back home in Cameroon. We search around to be able to find an incubator. The best deal that we came across was a 3,000 capacity incubator that they were selling for $12,000. That was about 6 million francs CFA local currency. That was $12,000 for a 3,000 capacity incubator, and that was just the setup, not even the hatcher. When I saw that, I was like, no way! There's no way I am paying $12,000 for a 3,000 capacity incubator. I thought to myself, and I said, there have to be a better alternative. And I want to tell you that better alternative today, it's Alibaba. And just a quick disclaimer, I don't work for Alibaba, neither do I get paid by, in any shape or form by Alibaba. So this video is literally based out of our experience purchasing small farm equipment and how easy it was for us to purchase these equipments using Alibaba. This is one of those videos that was requested by our subscribers. In this video, I'm going to show you how to purchase your own farm equipment from China using Alibaba.com. See you on the other side. This incubator will cost you at least $12,000 in the local market in Cameroon, but we bought it for $3,000, including shipping from China. This generator will cost you at least $20,000 in the local market in Cameroon, but we bought it from China for including shipping for $5,000. So how did we do it? Let me show you. Before I actually jump on Alibaba and show you everything, I want us to talk a little bit about the resellers. If you're building a business, an agricultural, you're investing in agriculture in Africa where you want to be able to expand, I would say skip the resellers. The reason why, they buy at cheap rates in China and they sell at exorbitant prices back home in Africa. So I would say skip the resellers and buy directly if you want to expand. But if you do not have the resources to be able to buy from China, then you can buy locally, but it's going to cost you more in the long run buying from resellers. I'm able to give you all this advice because I don't just buy all these equipment just for us to use, but I'm also a reseller. We have stores all over. We have store in Douala and we have a store in Boya. So we buy these equipments like drinkers, feeders, gas heaters, solar pumps, all those items that we buy at an extremely cheap rate in China, and then we sell them at, again, as a reseller, the minimum we get is 100% margin. I can, if you are interested in some of those price lists, I can always send them to you. Our price list, if you go to our website, otafarms.com, you'll be able to see most of those items. We sell them at 100. Again, I'm saying the cheapest margin that we have is 100%. And because we are sending these items from China as an agricultural container, the government, the Cameroon government, since they're agricultural product, waives 75% of the cost of the custom cost in Cameroon. So there are two ways you can actually purchase your agricultural equipment. You can either request an RFP or you can contact the reseller directly. The first thing you want to do is jump on Alibaba.com and then set up your account. If you don't already have an account, I recommend setting up your own account. As you can see, I already have an account set up for myself. Once you set up an account, you're going to see in my case, I have a profile picture uploaded. But if you don't, you probably see a user icon at the top right. So just hover over that particular user icon to be able to generate the RFP. So we're going to start with the RFP, and then we're going to start with contacting requesting a quote directly from supplier. So I'm going to click on RFP, which will now open the page for me to post a new RFP. From the RFP page, as you can see, I already have a couple of quotes from other suppliers that have entered in the system. I entered a quote a couple of months ago for a 200 capacity egg incubator. Enter one for the drinkers and feeders, for an aquarium, for a 4x4 all-wheel drive diesel pickup truck. I've entered several quotes. Some of them have approved, some of them I haven't approved them. But if you want to post your own quote, this page is probably going to be empty. If you're new to Alibaba, this page is going to be empty. And then you just click post an RFP. So what is an RFP in the first place? Let me explain that. RFP generally stands for request for proposal. It's a business term. It's a commonly used business term for request for proposal, where you can actually detail what you want, and then Alibaba will help you disseminate that information to several other suppliers, because Alibaba has thousands of suppliers on their platform, and they will send all that to their suppliers and say, okay, go ahead and send your quote. Kelvin is looking for this particular item, send your quote, and this is the quantity that Kelvin wants to request. So for you to generate yours, all you need to do is search for the product name, enter the quantity. So in this case, we are looking for a 1,000 capacity incubator, and we need 5 of them, and use the AI tool. Alibaba comes with this particular AI tool that will actually help you automatically generate the description for you. As you can see, already within seconds, it generated a really good detailed description, and you can go ahead and edit and just apply the description, add additional information, contact your technician. Again, it's very, very important before you place a request for proposal, or before you purchase anything at all on Alibaba, or you want to buy any equipment from China, make sure you contact the technician, your local technician. Let them give you a specification, especially when it comes to the power. That is extremely important. You want to go ahead, like for example, if you're dealing with a feed mill, you don't want to order a 3-phase generator and then order a single-phase feed mill system. Okay, if you do that, yes, it's going to work, but it's going to cost you more money to be able to buy additional equipments locally to make that feed mill to work. So in order to remove any of those extra costs, talk to your local suppliers, talk to the local technicians, let them give you more information pertaining to that particular equipment. They will know better than you, because if you're somebody like myself that is just an investor, I'm a software engineer by career. Yes, I've taken some courses in agronomy, but doesn't make me an expert. There are people who agronomy is literally their field. So you want to talk to the expert, let them be able to give you as much information as possible. In Cameroon, it's very difficult. If you go to some of these resellers and you want to get any information, they're not going to give you, because they want you to buy from them. So what I do is I grease their pocket a little bit, give them $10, $20, and they will give me any information that I want. Talk to them, they will give you the information, and then you can use that information, come here and create your own RFP. And once you generate your RFP, you can add additional information like pictures. It will be really nice if you can go Google some similar pictures of the items that you're looking for, add it to your RFP, and then click on invite suppliers to quote. Once you generate your RFP, you're going to see all the RFPs inside my RFPs, quotations and proposals. Yeah, they have some semantics and differences, but they are basically almost the same thing. So Alibaba actually presents the quote in a good manner that will help you easily compare the different quotes. So in this particular case, I created an RFP for a 200 capacity incubator, and I got several quotes from several suppliers. One Zhengzhou, okay, I'm not going to try to pronounce the name, so excuse me, I don't speak Mandarin. So you see, like, there are quotes from several other suppliers in the system that they sent to me, and from there I was able to contact them directly. And once you contact them directly, you guys finalize. I want to say this is probably the most important part of this video. Never pay off Alibaba. Pay all your items using Alibaba system. I promise you, do not send any payment directly. It doesn't mean that you're not going to get the product. But if you do not pay through Alibaba, even if you get the product, it will probably take a longer period of time for you to get it. Or in some cases, you will never even probably even get it. I'm telling you the truth. Never pay off site. Always use Alibaba.com to pay. Alibaba has what they call trade assurance. Trade assurance means that if you go ahead and pay your money, in the case, I don't know if it works everywhere else, but if in the US, if I pay for an item using Alibaba, we have what they call trade assurance, which means if I don't get my product, I can report back Alibaba and they will give me back my money. I know it works everywhere else. I know for a fact it probably works in Europe or in Africa. I'm pretty sure it works because it's a trade assurance system that they build into their system, and you will be able to get a refund for your money if you pay through Alibaba and your product was never delivered. So always use the trade assurance and pay directly from Alibaba. That is very important. As I said before, you can also search for your product and contact your suppliers directly. So basically, you go to Alibaba.com from the home page, you search for your product. I'm going to search 1000 capacity incubator, and then it's going to show me a set of all the incubators that I have in the system, right? That they have in the system. You search, you browse, and again, talk to your technician. Talk to the technician, talk to local suppliers, even give them something, let them give you information on the type of requirements that will work in your country, because again, it's going to be different from one country to another. Talk to the local technician, talk to the suppliers, talk to the resellers, let them give you as much information. Then you can use that information to come and search. You want to spend a lot of time searching for the right product. I will never recommend you just starting an order and going and paying for it. No, I will never recommend you starting with your order. Contact the supplier first, talk to them, send them information, ask as much information as possible. I did that. I'm going to probably show you some messages that I did for the fish farm, because we are actually starting a biofloc fish farming system, and we are talking to a couple of suppliers, and we have actually narrowed down to a specific supplier that is going to supply us all the items for our fish farm. Give them as much information, let them share the details, and let them also capture that. And you want to make sure that every single thing is captured, because again, if anything comes and it's not as recommended, you can always go back and report that supplier to Alibaba, and Alibaba will refund you your money using the trade assurance. So once you've searched for your product and you've narrowed it down, to the correct supplier, and everything is good, what the supplier will do is they will actually send you a quote for you to pay. And once you go ahead and pay for that quote, now the supplier will start, or let's say the vendor, right? They will now start manufacturing your product, because most of the time, all these items, this is what is amazing about these vendors in China. They literally do not have this sitting in a warehouse somewhere. When you place your order, that is when they go and assemble it, because they already have the parts. All you do is they assemble it for you based on your specification. So you have to understand how it works. Once you give them the information, they will tell you it's going to take 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month for you to be able to get your product forwarded to your forwarder. We're going to talk about shipping shortly, but once you place your order, they will tell you, okay, it's going to take this amount of time for them to actually send it, because they have to go now and assemble it based on those specifications that you've actually talked to your technician, and they have given you the specification, and then now you've used that specification to either create an RFP or either request a quote directly, or contacted a supplier or a vendor directly using Alibaba. Now, I'm going to show you some of the items that I've actually already placed in the system. So some of the items for our fish farm, again, we are expanding, we're expanding to new fish farm. I have already narrowed down to this particular supplier called Shandong Wallis Biotechnology Corporation in China, and they now send me a quote for me to go ahead and pay. So I am actually purchasing 5 fish tanks, and these are the specification for each fish tank. And one of them is going to cost me $334 US dollars. Each of those tanks is going to cost me 334 US dollars, and the total $1,670. Once I pay this, I pay this particular amount, they're now going to send it to my forwarder. Now my forwarder will be able to forward it to me in Cameroon. However, in my own case, I am sending it to another supplier. That's because I'm sending a whole 40-foot container that does not only include this, but it also includes other items for the layer poultry farm. I've used them before. They've shipped different containers to me. As you can see, I've actually been able to send multiple containers to Africa using this particular supplier. So this supplier, they're gonna occupy about 28 cubic meters space inside my container, and 4 extra will be used for my fish farm, which is these items that will be coming in from a different state in China. Now, let's talk about shipping. If you look at my account, I have several orders in the system. Some of them are waiting for me to make payment, and some of them have already completed the orders. Like this one is for the our new fish farm, and this one is for the store. These are basically just equipments for our store, like drinkers, feeders, and stuff like that. I think this is a total of about $1,700, which are just items for the store. And again, we make at least, the very least, 100% margin on all these things that we sell at our store. So we have this particular fish tank. It's a display fish tank that will put the fish, and the customers will be able to pick their fish for grilling. And then we have another order for barrel cages and all of that. We are still working on all that once it got confirmed. This one is the one that I talked about before. And in Cameroon, it costs $12,000 for a 3,000 capacity incubator. I bought a 10,000 capacity incubator for $1,900. You can see the difference in pricing. For $1,900, the forwarder charged me $4,160 for the shipping. But if I wanted to put this in my own container, it would have been a lot more cheaper, which is what I did in the next incubators, because I have 2 additional. So I have a total of 30,000 capacity hatchery, because I purchased 2 additional incubators and put it in my own container and ship from China. Now let's talk about shipping. I think I've touched a little bit on it, but there are 2 ways. There are basically 2 ways that you can ship items through Alibaba. You can either use your own forwarder, and again, if you do not know a forwarder, you don't have any information about a local forwarder. I know a forwarder that ships to almost every single port in Africa. I guarantee you, if I send you his information and you find out, you say you are in South Africa, you are in Kenya, you are in Nigeria, I guarantee you he ships to any of those countries. He ships to almost every single port in Africa. So if you want his information, just comment in this particular video and I'll ping you and send you his information. So there are 2 ways that you can actually handle shipping. You can send a 20-foot container, which is what I strongly recommend. If you have the money to be able to send a 20-foot or a 40-foot container, go with that option. The reason I'm saying, and 40-foot even better, because it's going to be like almost double the space at almost the same price, literally. So if you have the money to send a container, go that route. But if you do not, just drop us a comment and I'll send you the link or the WhatsApp information for that particular forwarder. And I guarantee you this forwarder actually send information. It's a forwarder that we've used. They charge between 500 to 600 US dollars to be able to send for each particular cubic meter. Again, a 20-foot container is 32.6 cubic meters. So which means if you go ahead and send it using your own container, do you know how much you'll be saving? To send a 20-foot container from China, it cost me $2,100. But if you use a forwarder, it's $20,000. $20,000. The difference is $2,100 or $20,000 to be able to send a 20-foot container using a forwarder. But if you just have just a small item that you just want to go ahead and send, go ahead and use the forwarder. So if the item is small and doesn't weigh that much, use air fry. But if the item is large and weigh a lot, use sea fry. So sea fry is generally recommended, and it will take about an average of about 60 days for you to get the item using sea fry. So I would generally recommend using your own forwarder, or if you have the money, use send your own container. I've been able to send containers from China to Cameroon without me even going to Cameroon, without me going to China or to Cameroon. Just from my computer, go ahead, enter the information, pay for it online, and everything gets shipped directly to Cameroon. And the advantage about shipping to Cameroon, and I'm pretty sure other African countries have the same advantages, because if you are shipping agricultural product, the custom duty is 75% off in Cameroon. They will take off 75%. You just need to go to the ministry if you're in Cameroon and you own an agricultural company. And again, and if you've been paying your taxes, because if you do not pay your taxes, you go to the ministry. They have what they call non-indebtedness. You need to present that to the ministry. So when you have the non-indebtedness, or in French, you call it non-relevance, you take that particular document and go to the ministry, and they will be able to give you a document that you can go to the port and clear your goods at 75% off the original. So if 20-foot container that normally will cost about 5-6 million, we clear it for about 1.5 to 2 million in Cameroon. If you look at how much it cost me to send the container, which is 2,100, and to clear it, which is approximately $3,000, that's $5,100 as opposed to $20,000 if I had to use a forwarder to send the same quantity of goods from China. So do not listen to all those folks that will tell you do not place your order on Alibaba. Alibaba is a scam. No, I will tell you that don't be afraid. Every single thing on Alibaba, not every single thing, of course. They have scammers in Alibaba. Don't get me wrong. That's why you want to spend a lot of time. Don't just see something. Okay, for example, they will go put a truck. You see somebody will put a 2020 Toyota truck on Alibaba that is $500. Of course, you know a 2020 it will not cost you $500. So do not fall into none of those. Alibaba does have some of those scams, and those scams will never want you to pay on Alibaba. They will always want you to take you to an off-site where you can go pay, and Alibaba will never be able to track your money. So make your payment on Alibaba. It's absolutely safe for you to make your purchases on Alibaba. Take your time. Make sure that it's a legitimate. This is very important. Make sure that it's a legitimate supplier. That supplier has been on Alibaba for at least 5 years. Look at the duration of time of doing trading on Alibaba. Make sure that they have been there for at least 5 years. Read some of their reviews on Alibaba, because all of these suppliers, they all have reviews. If somebody has purchased from them and had a very bad experience, they will go right on Alibaba, and you can those reviews will absolutely help you. I'm not saying that just focus all your decision based on those reviews, because we all know that online reviews can sometimes be misleading. Somebody can buy a perfume, and because the perfume is very, very strong, and the person go right, this is the worst perfume they've ever seen. But just the fact that that particular perfume is very strong is the reason why some other person might be interested in it. So do not base all your attention on just the online reviews. I will tell you, it's absolutely safe for you to actually purchase equipment. I have a second container that is leaving Alibaba for the layer poultry farm, for my Bioflock fish farm that is going to Cameroon, and every single thing is done online. This is going to be the second container from China, specifically from Hebei, China, directly to Cameroon. And I'm not going to even step foot in China, and I'm not even going to step foot in Cameroon. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below, and we always respond to all the comments on this channel. We always respond to all your comments, and we'll make sure that if you have a question, we'll definitely go ahead and respond to your comments. If you again you're interested in the forwarder, the any forwarder information that will forward the goods directly to you, ping us in the comments and we'll send the information. We'll send the WhatsApp information and you ping them and just go on Alibaba, search for it, and the forwarder will give you their address. You take that address, send it to your supplier. Your supplier will ship the good to your forwarder, and then your forwarder will forward it to you in your home country. And the advantage of using the forwarder is you don't have to worry about custom duty because they will go clear the goods and then come and deliver to you in front of your door. That's what we did for our very first incubator. We never paid. We paid the whole shipping fee, included custom duty. They clear the good and deliver the good directly to us. That is the advantage of using a forwarder. If you don't want to go through all the headache of clearing goods and services, especially in Cameroon. Cameroon is it's really really tough for you to actually clear your goods and services in Cameroon because everything is just manual. They've tried as much as possible to actually automate the system, but almost every single thing is there is manual. The people themselves don't even want it automated because they know how they make their money when it's a manual process. So if you don't want to go through the headache of actually clearing the goods from the custom by yourself, you can just use the forwarder. Ping us in the comments. I will send you the forwarder information. Again, if you've learned anything, if this video has been helpful, please hit that subscribe button and let us know in comments so that we can actually be able to improve on subsequent videos. Thank you and see you in the next video.